The bridge that spans the Missouri River at Glasgow has a problem with water. That sounds funny to say about a bridge, but it's true. The current of the Missouri River puts unusual stresses on the bridge. It was renovated in 2008. Just 8 years later, the old steel beams are beginning to crack and the bridge needs fixing. Here's J.Y. Miller's problem. He depends on the bridge every time he leaves town or comes back. He needs that bridge to stay open since other bridges nearby are in even worse shape.
We have some smaller bridges around Glasgow that probably could use some repair also, although they are designated as safe at the moment. It takes a lot of money to keep up any kind of infrastructure, and the highways and the bridges would certainly be no exception to that.
The Glasgow Bridge is one of nearly 15% of Missouri's bridges considered structurally deficient by the Federal Highway Administration. That means at least part of the bridge is deteriorating. There are 866 bridges in the state in that condition. MoDOT grades these bridges on a scale ranging from 1 to 9. Bridges rated 4 and under are considered poor.
If it's something less than perfect, it's structurally deficient. That does not in any way mean that it's not safe. It just means that we have to keep our eyes on it.
MoDOT says it's fixing bridges at a rate of 100 a year. The problem? About 100 bridges a year are falling into disrepair.
Picking which 100 you work on is probably the hardest part for us. It's not the engineering part, it's the judgment and the financing part.
This means the department has to make some tough decisions on which bridges are important enough to fix at a time.
Really, the lack of funding does affect how fast you can do things and what order, but certainly every bridge is important. If it's not, we wouldn't replace it.
The Burnett School Road Bridge near Ashland is an example of what can happen to bridges that don't have timely repairs. It was built over Cedar Creek almost a century ago, but it's been a safety concern for residents for years.
I know that it's very old, it's very scary. I think I know it was built in the 1920s maybe.
MoDOT could have made renovations, but it didn't make the cut. It closed in early October. Some residents say that they have to plan their entire day around this closure.
It's an extra, 15 minutes or so, so what used to be a 30-minute drive is now about a 45-minute drive to Columbia. And that's where we do a lot of our shopping. We go to church there, and we have friends there.
It's not just happening in Missouri.
And I think the problem is that it's not just a Missouri problem, it's a national problem. We've got an awful lot of our physical infrastructure, the bridges, the pavements, the water systems, the dams, a lot of our physical infrastructure is old.
He says to fix this problem, the Department of Transportation in the state is going to have to take a hard look at things to figure out a way to speed up the system. With producers Marley Baldridge, Corey Clay, and Courtney Manning, Anne Marie Welser, KOMU 8 News, Ashland.